back home in our community. Young people come up, they have great ideas, they are visionaries, and they want to do businesses, but they don't have the skills, they don't have the training. You don't just wake up and jump into business. You have to go for some training. It might not just be a degree training, it might not just be going to the university to study business management, but it might just be incubation program. It might just be incubator program. It might just be workshops, seminars, and series of training to teach you how to run a business sustainably so that business will not fail. So we had our first phase of hackathon, and so far things are going successfully. And as soon as they finish their training and the trainers give us recommendations on what to do, then we'll begin to support them, fund them to start out their businesses. So it's important that we realize this, and we want to continue that process. I want to continue that process. But what we're doing today is just to begin to expose you to business opportunities where you can put your hands into. Because sometimes, and it's not your fault, we don't have the ideas. You want to do something, but you don't know what to do. And so sometimes somebody can say, why not do this? Why not do that? Why not do this? Why not do that? And you can say, oh, yeah, yeah. It's not your fault. Most of you are still quite young. You need mentors. You need experienced people to point you to the right direction. And that's why we are here today. You also need the confidence. You also need the confidence to be able to thrive, because it's not also always so easy to go into business. You also need to know that setting up a business is not just something that you do carelessly. There are quite some work to do, but it pays off. That is the truth. The richest people in the world are people who have their own businesses, period. Anywhere you like, take it, period. I mean, we're not saying that people will not work for other people. Of course, yeah, there should be people that can work for other people. If you feel called to work for other people, that is fine. But if you feel called to be a business person, so you are in the right place. And we are going to help you to identify those businesses that you can do. And then we are going to ask you to submit business plans. And then from there, we can select a few people that we can train in business development, and then eventually help them and support them to run their businesses. Now, that is the process. And we're going to repeat this over and over again. And we're going to continue it because we want young people to go into entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is the way to develop yourself, develop the economy, develop the country, be independent financially and otherwise. And so, pay attention today. We're going to have one of our own, Uche, who is the founder of Startup South. You must have heard about it, and he's going to join us to speak about the various business opportunities you can go into. Myself, I will continue to speak and support. The thing is that there are so many things people can do, and we have not even explored the opportunities. And while we wait for Mr. Uche, I would like to begin to take you down to some opportunities that you can go into. And before you could know what you're talking about, you would have made a whole lot of names. Let me give you one example. And some of these things, they're not just something that may seem easy at the beginning. But I want you to know that every business that you see thriving today, they started small. All of you like Mark Zuckerberg. Oh, Mark, hey, Mark, hey, Mark. The other day that Facebook went down temporarily, everybody went crazy. One young man that is not even up to 40, I'm not sure he's up to 40 years old, that is controlling the whole world. Because when he was an undergraduate in the university, he had an idea to start a Facebook. And he invited some of his friends to start. And some people say, oh, forget it. Oh, you can't make it. Oh, it's so hard. Why are you going to get an office? Why are you going to get money? How do you think this will work? And then there were a few people that said, yeah, it's going to work. Let's try it out. And they all started out. And Mark Zuckerberg today is one of the richest people in the world, just with a little idea. And he said, let's connect everybody. But it's not only Mark Zuckerberg. We have other platforms. Even the person that started WhatsApp was not Mark Zuckerberg, but WhatsApp, Zuckerberg bought WhatsApp from him. Today, all of us are on WhatsApp, and people will imagine, how do people that manage WhatsApp make money? How about Twitter? When Twitter started, these are all digital businesses, you know. I'm just mentioning the big digital businesses, and they might seem very big in your eyes, but they're not really quite big because you can always start it. And before you know it, you look back, you're already there. I remember when Amazon started. What was his idea? Oh, his idea is, okay, people have products to sell. Let me create a platform where people can come and buy products. There are businesses that are like Amazon, but maybe they are not as big as Amazon. So you hear only Amazon. There are places like Craigslist. Those places you can go there and sell your car. I remember when I wanted to sell our books on Amazon, Amazon charges 12% for every copy of the book you sell on Amazon. And so everybody became their own, you had your own shop on Amazon. But it was a digital business. It was an e-commerce, an online business. Some of the skills that Amazon used to start these businesses, you have already acquired them at Dsep. There are so many things that people can do and use their skills to do. Let's even begin to talk about our local problems. Let's even forget about international problem. For those of you from Imo State, I'm from Imo State. You can actually become a billionaire serving only people in Imo State. You can actually become a billionaire serving only people in Imo State. There are very rich people in Imo State who are not serving anybody outside of Imo State. Let me give you an example. I have a friend of mine. He's a millionaire, if not getting to a billionaire. He sells business materials, building materials. He doesn't sell to anybody outside of Imo State. His shop is at Alaba. All the people that buy his material are from Imo State. But he's very, very rich. Just, selling things to Imo people alone. Imo State has almost 6 million people, if not more than more. According to the recent statistics on small businesses, Imo State has, as of 2017, Imo State has about 1.5 million small, medium enterprises. Imo State alone has about, by now it must have increased to about 2.something million. And when we talk about all these small businesses, we're talking about all these shops at Alaba. We're talking about all these shops at Relief Market. They are all small businesses. Imagine if somebody that learns social media marketing in our office decides that I'm going to serve the small businesses in Imo State. I'm not going to serve anybody. I'm just going to serve only Alaba people. And then you set up your online page. And then you develop your materials, your working materials. And you start going from one shop to another in Alaba market, telling them why they should have their businesses on Facebook, telling them why they should have their businesses on Instagram. Listen, let me tell you, some of those guys are at Alaba, they would like to have their businesses on Facebook. It's just that they don't know how to do it. Some of them are just too afraid to do it. Some of them don't have the time to do it. And you go and say, oh, madam, oh, sir, I can put your business on Facebook. I'll come around all the time to collect pictures, or you can send me pictures whenever you have new goods. You can send me pictures through WhatsApp and I will upload them and I'll put some content for you. Some of them will be very excited. They'll say, my shop is on Facebook, oh, my business is on Facebook. And then you'll be able to convince them why they need it. And you say, but you are going to pay me 20,000 naira a month to do this, or 10,000 naira a month to do this, to be doing it for you, updating them whenever you get new product, whatever, I'll be doing it for you. I mean, with the social media marketing skills that you acquire from our organization, you can actually use it to start a business like this. And if you have 10 people, for example, that agree, because we have thousands of people at Alaba, but let me just say you manage to convince 10 people that are paying you 20,000 a month. So you are earning already 200,000 naira a month. Or even if they're paying you 10,000 a month, you're earning around 100,000 a month. The good thing about subscription is that every business that has a subscription is usually a very rich business, because every month they will renew the subscription. So if you have only 10 clients from Alaba, you have 100,000 naira, assuming they are paying you 10,000, assuming. And tell me how many minutes it will take you every morning to update the Facebook pages of 10 handles with that your cell phone. Now, what you need now to do your work is cell phone. You don't even need a laptop. It's only that cell phone you are using there to post rubbish on Facebook. to post rubbish and everything, to watch everybody's video, to watch Sabino's video, why he's earning money, to watch MC Edopikin video, why he's earning money, to watch other people's video, why they're earning money, to read about gossip that are making people popular. That's what you're using your cell phone to do. When you can use it to make money yourself? So imagine if you have just 10 clients, and I'm telling you that within 1 month, if you're strong, you should be able to have more than 20 clients at Alaba. What is 20? It's nothing. I'm talking about Alaba. I've not even talked about relief. I've not even talked about, you have to go there, do your initial Jehovah Witness promotion, the legwork. Oluwafemi, you can remove your video. Oluwafemi Ewaloye, you can remove your video. Oluwafemi, you can remove your video. Ewaloye. So that is just one business you can go into, and we can have 20 people doing the same thing in Imo State, and it's not enough to serve the whole Imo people. I mean, you have not gone to Abia, you have not gone to Ebonyi, you have not gone to another state. You have, even if you have 20 people that have this kind of online, social media business in Imo State, it's not enough. It won't serve everybody. How many clients can you have, Pana? Some businesses have only 100 clients and they can't even serve them. If you manage to build 100 clients, you are charging 10,000 naira every month. You are going home with 1 million naira every month. And if these 100 clients remain your clients for 12 months, you are going home with 12 million naira every year. What else do you need? Maybe you have about 2 or 3 people helping you that you pay some money. Ramp up some 2 or 3 or 4 ladies that have IT skills. You pay some money and they will be helping you with all this and you're good. So this is one skill you can use your social media skills to start. We have those that have done data work and they have a lot of skills. Data analysts can do anything for you. The truth is that most people do not know what data analysts can do for them. And one of the things where you have to invest your money would be in creating that awareness, educating people. And it might take a little bit of time before that happens. But when it happens, then you enjoy it. So, Ewaloye, Olufemi, you can remove your video so that, the other trainees can focus. Participants should remove their videos. Thank you so much. So when you start out that kind of data, some people do not know how to manage data. They do not know how to even follow up on their clients. So for example, you have somebody that has a shop, or something, and he has a lot of people that come to buy from them. He doesn't know how to do customer relationship management. He doesn't know how to follow up with the clients. He doesn't know how to administer surveys to see if the clients are really, enjoying the businesses. These are how small businesses all over the world survive. Our own people may not know about it, but you are going to bring that awareness. Most of the things we are doing at CSA today, at the initial time, people did not know about it, but over time, people are buying into it. It's a digital business. Any business that you can do with your digital skills is a digital business. Any business that you can do with your digital skills is a digital business because you have learned that good skill. So the data person can then, before you have like 10 clients, and don't think about having 1,000 clients. But once you have 10 clients that subscribe to you, that pay you 10, 20,000, 30,000 every month, you can know when you do the math, it grows, it adds up. And before you say Jack Robinson, you're serving other people that are not in Imo State, that are in Ebonyi State, that are in other places. So it's always very important that you to think about it. And that is what you can use your data analytics skill to do. I'm talking about people that really want to start businesses. The other day I was looking at a portal called Survey Portal. You go to Survey Portal and then you take surveys, you answer surveys, and they pay you for answering surveys. You take surveys, you answer them, they pay for answering survey. So you think that the guy that has the Survey Portal is not making money? The guy has just come to aggregate all the businesses together. Those who want to answer survey, because businesses want people that would take the survey for them to be able to know the way they are, whether their business is good or not. And it's one of the toughest things that businesses do. And this is the area of data analysts. But are we creative about it? Are we thinking about it? So if you start such thing in Imo State alone, at the initial time, it might be a little tough, but over time, people will begin to see the value in what you're doing. And once you have occupied the space, once you have taken the opportunity, once you have become, once you have gained ground, it might be harder for somebody else to come into the business and kick you out. So there are quite a lot of virgin areas that you can still go in that we have not even gone to. Look at Nigeria. They pay stack people. Before it was very hard for us to make transactions. We used to use PayPal and all the rest of them. But pay stack people came into the picture. And look what you are doing right now with the skills that they have. What of cybersecurity? If you study cybersecurity, one of the people that are going through our hackathon program now, they want to be able to protect people's websites. They want to be able to protect people's data. They want to be able to protect people's information. So what are you? You can create a business in that line. And I said, don't even mind trying to cover the entire Nigeria, try to cover the entire world at the same time. How about website management? Website management, web front end and web back end. Too many people do not know that they need website. You can create the market and manage the market. Too many people do not know that they need website, or they admire website, but they don't know how to go about it. Some of them think it's even something so expensive. Some of them wonder, how can I get a website? How can I do that? You think that people are all intelligent as you are when it comes to digital skills? No. So there are many businesses in Imo State that don't have websites. I'm talking about schools. Okay, let me take schools. There are many primary and secondary schools that do not have website. There are many churches in Imo State that do not have website. If you come to America, almost every parish, let's say as a Catholic priest, almost every parish has a website. If you come to Imo State, for example, I don't know any parish in Imo State that has a website. I don't know. And some of you who have learned these skills are even youth members of your parishes. You're even youth members in your parishes. You're even church members. You're church members in your churches. You're youth members. You're playing active role, but you're a web front developer. You haven't even gone to your pastor, to your parish priest and say, but our parish needs a website and I can create one. You can decide, so I'll create it for free for you, but I can manage it for 20,000 naira every month. And it can be a simple website with 1 or 2 pages. And the priest says, okay, fine. Then you start posting things for them. On every Sunday mass, you put in your streaming machine, they stream things, you put it online there. They will start putting bulletin every day for them. And before you know it, you have about 3, 4, 5, 6 churches. You're managing their websites. And they're paying you 20,000, 30,000 every month. If you have 20 churches, you're managing their website, and they pay you 20,000 every month, it's 400,000 naira. 400,000 naira times 12 in a year. You know how much it is. The thing is that the culture of having website is not big in our place, but one day begins a story. You have studied web front end. You're waiting for somebody to hire you. No. Start from your community. Start from your people you know. There are some people in your community you know that have business, they don't have website. Instead of you going to the man and say, Oga Charlie, I beg go find me 50,000. I beg go find me 100,000. Say, Oga Charlie, can I build a website for your business? No, don't. Can I build a website for your business? Don't pay me anything. Just let me build a website for your business. Anybody that has website must need a website maintainer. That's the problem. It's just like buying a car. It's not enough to buy a car. If you buy a car, you must change the oil. You must change the fuel. You must change something. So it is when you want to change the oil, then you start looking for a mechanic. So it is when he wants to put a new picture. Chidinma, it's now. This is Christmas. Now you should put Christmas picture on my website. That's when the web manager becomes important. But you need to start it. You need to create that market. And once you have started it and created it, and you have gotten like 30, 40 clients, it is very hard for those clients to leave you, except if you do something really bad. You don't do the work, you're not supporting them. And I'm telling you that if you have just 100 people you're managing their websites, I'm not talking about big websites like CSAE websites. I'm not talking about big websites like bank websites. I'm talking about small websites. And there are people that, because people will pay you, let's say 20,000. Don't you? What are you doing? Once in a week, you update their information, put their bulletin, put things there and everything. And I'm telling you that over 100 Dsep graduates can go into this business in Imo State and still make enough money from it. Because the market is very large. You're only going to West, the pen would only be when you are trying to convince them at the beginning. And let me tell you, once one church or two churches have done it, others will start doing it. Others will start doing it. So once you have convinced 2, 3, 4, 5 people to do it, those 3 people will convince the rest of the people for you. All you need to do is to show a sample. And that is what it is and what you can do. So all these graphic designers, yesterday, I was looking for electronic card, and I found out that there's one they have now, they call Dot. Dot is when they do this card for you, design it for you, I think they put barcode in it. So when you go for a conference, meeting, or your customer comes, instead of handing him a complimentary card, you will just touch the card at the back of his phone. And once you touch the card at the back of his phone, the information, all your business information will go into the person's contact. But we have graphic designers who can go into this kind of business in Imo State. This eliminates the need for me to be printing 1,000 business cards. I don't need it. I need only one. And that one, any client, any customer that comes to my office, I'll just touch it ask him for permission this is my business card. Let me put it in your phone. You touch it on the camera and it goes into the person's phone. This is simple. Rather than carrying business card and then I will lose it. And when I want to call you, I start looking, oh, I forgot the card. I'm in Lagos now. How do I get this number? I start calling. Do you remember the number of Uche? Do you remember the number of Chidema? And once you start doing it, everybody will start coming to you. But you're only a graphic designer. You learn graphic designing, and you're now using this graphic designing into a more serious matter. You're using it to design stuff and going one step to put back. It's a barcode technology. And barcode technology is very common. By the time you know it, you are doing that card for many businesses. And then at the beginning, well, yeah, people might be suspicious. They might say, is it working and all that and all that? But you break into the market. Sometimes when you begin, you do it for free for some people that have clout. And then it begins to work. Last year, a company in Abuja called Pixel Company, we approached them because we were trying to figure out how we're going to manage our data, so that our data will communicate with our communication and all that stuff. There was a whole lot of things going on as at that time. But we had all the platforms, we had JotPhone, we had this. And they were like, nobody has thought about how to integrate all these things together so that the thing can be in one space. And they said they're going to try. I forgot about them because I didn't get to hear that back from them throughout the ending of the last year. But just on Friday, they said, sir, we have a presentation to make for you. And these guys went to work and did a fantastic thing that brings together so many JotForm, Google Form, whatever, creates an email platform and everything. And I couldn't but tell them, I am getting this. I'm buying this from you. And I'm going to introduce it to other people. As soon as that product hits the market, it will take over because it is all in one, what you use so many platforms to do. Data analysts will need it. Customer, it's even something close to CRM. And it's a local one. And you can pay in Naira. And so there are so much opportunities, business opportunities. So you need to start thinking wide and, making sure that, you are thinking wide. That is what it needs. And sometimes it's not easy to always remember some of these things. So that's why we have organized this series. And we are going to continue to have them to expose you to ideas. And once we expose you to ideas, then go home and do your business plan. Once you do your business plan, then bring it to us. We're going to have another hackathon. But only those that have participated in these trainings, in these expositions we're doing, would be the ones that would have to benefit from will participate in the hackathon, because we want you to come in with more realistic. Some of you come in with big ideas that are not realistic. Start small. Start small. It is incremental starting. And when people are testifying to the work you're doing, that's when you begin to see that things will begin to change for you. You don't need to also sometimes, bring the whole world together. Some people don't even have an office. They don't start from an office. When I started Csaae'S, I did not have an office. I did not have an office. But look where we are now. So you grow, and some of you need to be patient too. Dangote did not grow overnight. I think he started his business in the 80s, way back. And you can imagine some of you were not even born when he started his business. Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg did not grow overnight. Elon Musk has been around for years. He's the owner of PayPal. He started PayPal. They have tried their hands on several things. But we need more entrepreneurs in our country. Whether they are small businesses, micro businesses, medium-sized enterprises, we need them because they are the best ways to make money, to live a good life, to have your freedom. Whether you're serving as a freelancer or whether you're serving as an e-lancer, whatever. But we need to start organizing your mindset, your business, and everything. So, there will be a lot more ideas we are going to continue to share in this series. And I've just shared only a few with you. There are quite more of them. But I want that conversation to shift towards that. Let's start meeting and start talking. What businesses can we do? Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. We have a lot of population in this world. The world is so large. So don't be afraid that somebody is going to do what you're doing. I said, we have 6 million people in Imo State. How many can you serve? Highest client you have is 100. 100 is like a drop of water in an ocean in Imo State. 100 people. We have over 2 million micro, small, medium enterprises. How many can you serve? So don't be afraid that somebody is doing what you're doing. No, we can all do so many things at the same time and still. How many hotels are in Imo State? Hundreds, a lot of hotels in Imo State. But come on Friday, you won't get a room. Come to Imo State on Friday, you won't get a room. But we have so many hotels there. And people, as I'm speaking now, are still building hotels in Imo State because consumption is much more than production. The people that the demand is higher than the, whatever they call it, supply. So the people that need your services are more than the people that are going to provide the services. And so do not be afraid and say, oh, this person is already doing it. This person is already doing it. No. You can only serve so many people at a time. You are a human being. You can't be up on 24 hours all night. So at least human frailty will limit the number of clients you can have. So do not be afraid. And of course, if there's competition too, we'll all do better. And before you finish serving Imo State, Yoruba, I'm using Imo State here now as a sample, as an example. Say, meaning wherever you are, begin from where you are. Some of us try to launch a national program, a national company, an international company. No, begin from the people. The first people that are going to patronize you are your family members, are your friends. Yes, if you just like when you write a book, the first person that will patronize you will be your mother or your father, then your friends, and then gradually it goes out. So begin your product. Go to people that trust in you, believe in you. Go to your uncles and people that have businesses that you can support. Begin from them. Sometimes do it for free for them for a start, or just ask them to provide you with a supplier. There's one guy that was doing video among people. He did video editing. He did one for me. He showed it to me. And I liked it so much. And I've connected him to somebody that he's doing video for, and we will still connect him to more opportunities. But when he did it, he just brought it to me and showed it to me and said, look what I did. And it was very fantastic. Sometimes do something, showcase it to those who can give it visibility, and then that would work. Thank you so much. Mr. Uche is here. I think I have spoken for like about, let's say 30 minutes now. We don't intend this program to last for more than 2 hours. So I'm going to introduce Mr. Uche Aniche, the founder of Startup South, to continue from where I stopped. I'm sure you have learned a lot. I'm sure I have shared some ideas with you here. I still have a lot more ideas to share. Like I said, this series will continue. After this, we'll still have another one in the future to continue to expose you to a world of ideas, businesses that you can go into and grow them gradually and then flourish in them. Thank you so much. And then Mr. Uche, if you're here, you can then step in. Mr. Uche Aniche. Mr. Uche, if you're here, unmute yourself. You're still muted.
I'm here. I'm trying to share my screen, sir.
Okay.
Just give me a few seconds.
Okay, thank you. And Francisca, I mean, I don't know when you're going to share the attendance form, because only those that attend these webinars will be eligible for the hackathon. Only those that attend these webinars will be eligible for the hackathon. Of course, you must have been a Dsep graduate for you to also be eligible. So only those that attend the hackathon will be eligible for, attend this program will be eligible for the hackathon. So please make sure you put your name in the attendance list that they will be sharing shortly, so that we know you participated. If you don't participate in the webinars, we won't allow you to contest in the hackathon, which means you will not be able to receive business grants from us to start your business. Okay, thank you, Uche.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Okay, good.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Apologies, I couldn't come in back at 2 o'clock. I was participating as a judge in a tech fair in Port Harcourt. So, but I think that Father has done a great job in this, and I want to take this from a different perspective so I don't repeat some of the things Father has said. But I hope that's fine. Hello?
Somebody said in the room, in the chat room, that they can't see your screen, but I'm seeing your screen. Maybe it's the person's computer.
Yeah, it's the person's network, I guess.
Okay.
Okay, so just use an emoji. Everyone, use an emoji to indicate if you can see my screen, because I can't see the chat.
Yeah, Uche, many more people are saying they can't see your screen, so it might not be one person's problem.
Yeah, so, but since you can see it, if you can see it, then it means it's your network.
Maybe, I'm a co-host in this program, so I don't know whether it has anything to do with that.
Okay, so let's see if any other person has that challenge. So guys, tell me if you can see my screen. Can any other person see it apart from Father?
We can, sir.
Can you see it?
No, I can't see your screen. I'm only seeing you.
Can any other person see? Yes, thanks for letting us know. Can any other person see the screen?
I can't see your screen, sir.
I can't see the screen too. I'm just seeing you.
Who are you seeing, Father or me?
I'm not on
What you
video.
Mr. Uche, can you stop sharing and start sharing again? I can ask Mr. Uche, can you stop sharing and start sharing again, so maybe everyone might be able to see it.
What I think is happening is that Father's screen is spotlighted. Father's this thing is spotlighted. So they need to scroll to users to be able to see my screen. That's what it means. So otherwise you can spotlight me so that they can see my screen. Did you hear me?
Sister, why not make Uche a host too, so he can do all these things he's saying?
He's a co-host already.
Okay, so let me try and spotlight my screen. Just 1 second. So, Father, I understand what's happening. Just 1 second. Users, spotlight. Okay, hold on. Let me stop. Let me stop the sharing. Okay, so you can't see my screen now, right? I've stopped sharing.
Yes, we can't.
Okay, great. So I'm going to go back and share. Just 1 second. Let me. Guys, just adjust your, what's it called? Just go to the users and make sure you highlight, you spotlight me, everybody. If you right click on me, you should be able to spotlight me, and then you start seeing me. I'm going back to start sharing now.
Please, where's the user tab?
Come again.
Where is the user tab, the user icon?
The one that has people, the one that has human being, is between the
Is it?
video and the chat. Are you using a mobile phone or a desktop? It has participants. It has participants written on it. Okay, so we go again. Can you see my screen now? Can you see the screen now?
Uche, I
No,
think
we can't see your screen.
you can't see. Uche, I think is the document open on your computer?
So let me send you the link. It's not. Let me send you the link. I'm not using my computer. I'm using a phone.
Okay, maybe that's what is making the problem.
No, but if you can see it, everybody's supposed to see it.
I don't know. I'm seeing it.
Yeah, they have to highlight me. Can they even see me talk? Can they see me? Let me put my. If you can see me talk, then you can see. So just 1 second. Can anybody see me now?
We
Yeah,
can
we can
see your face
Yes,
now.
sir, we can see you, sir.
But your video has
Yes, we
disappeared.
can see you. I can see you.
Can you still see me?
No,
Chilo.
no.
Okay.
No, sir.
Don't worry. I'll send Francisca the link now. I'll send Francisca the link so that she can maybe
You're
stream
visible
from
now.
there.
We can see you now.
Yeah, no worries. Let me send Francisca the link.
Can see you. We can see you, sir.
Yeah, no, he's going
I
to
can see you
send.
now.
He's going to send the link to the document to you, so you can download it and be looking through on your phone while he's teaching.
Okay, just 1 second, everyone. Francisca, check. I think I've sent you the link.
Okay, sir. Brother, please, can you check your chat message? I just dropped you a message.
So Francisca, if you're going to be sharing, let me know. But I'm just going to go ahead and start speaking.
Yes, just go ahead. We'll share it. We'll share the screen from our end.
Okay, great. All right. Hi everyone. Once more. Sorry, let me be sure. Okay. So good afternoon, everyone. My name is
afternoon,
Uche
sir.
Aniche, as father already introduced. I run Startups Out, and Startup South is a startup ecosystem development and advocacy organization, and we're inspiring founders building high-scale ventures across South, South, and Southeast of Nigeria. It's also a community of founders that are interested in either building a startup or working in a startup. Today, like I mentioned, Father has done a great job of talking about opportunities that you can leverage the skills that you got in building a business. Today I want to take it from, I want to take a different route. Hopefully me and Father will arrive at the same route at the end of the day. I will discuss how to build a startup from a secondary city. If I asked, so let me not go ahead of myself. So today's agenda, I'll discuss the big dilemma, and I'll also discuss what VCs think. I'll discuss types of funding. I'll discuss how to build a startup, what is a startup, how to generate and validate startup ideas, who can build a startup. And in doing that, I'll touch on a number of things. All right? Francisca, let me know when you start sharing the slide so that we can be in sync.
No problems at all. Just go ahead. Once we start, we'll let you know.
Great. Okay, so by way of introductions once more, let me talk about what it means to be in a secondary city. Father used Owerri a lot, or Imo State a lot in his presentation. He talked about how you can build stuff and service people in Imo State. Imo State has 6 million people, like Father mentioned. So you can go to the introduction slide. That's where I am. Imo State has 6 million people. So when we talk about secondary cities, we talk about cities that basically, I mean, before you talk about secondary, it means that there's a primary, right? And if our basic education served us well, we know that when we talk about primary, we talk about secondary, we're basically saying a primary is, the main focus or the foundation, right? Whereas secondary is what you build on top of the primary or the layer or the second layer. So in that sense, when we talk about secondary cities, we're discussing those cities that are very important by way of economics. They're important, but they're just not the primary economic cities in a nation, in a country. They're very important, but not the primary. So when you look at the country Nigeria, for instance, you start talking about where are the primary cities? By definition, by my definition, or by what I've said so far, I'm sure you want to call cities like Lagos, cities like Abuja, maybe Port Harcourt as primary cities because of economy, right? And then you start calling cities like Owerri, Enugu, just name other cities. You start looking at them and you're calling them, you could say they're secondary cities, right? But for the purpose of this conversation, primary cities for me will be cities that have advanced infrastructure and attract the most investors. And one of the ways to define primary cities would be what is the internet penetration rate in those cities, right? Internet today is one of the most basic infrastructure that any city should have. What is the penetration rate for internet? Then how many VC firms operate in that city? And by VC, I mean venture capital firms. Please stay with me. I know that some of the things I am saying so far will be sounding a bit high for some of you, but please stay with me. We will get somewhere together. So this session would basically help you to understand the intricacies of building startups that can receive investment, especially when you live in those cities that do not have strong infrastructure or do not have enough venture capital firms. All right? It will help you understand the different sources of funding. It will also help you understand what investors are and what they are looking for. And ultimately, to help you to help you to understand how to validate and decide on what ideas to focus on. Father, I've told you lots of things about what it is you should, what you should possibly do. A lot of those things could actually become a fundable startup idea. But are you able to do them in a way that can be meaningful and significant? A bit about myself: over 20 years of marketing communication experience. Experienced startup coach, global startup coach as well. I've supported startups and founders to raise in excess of $5 million. All right. I founded South-Southeast India Network, and through that, we've invested about $490,000 in startups within the South, South, and Southeast and beyond. I'm also a general partner at a venture firm called Rebel Seed Capital. So this introduces me to what I call the big dilemma. What is the big dilemma? Founders are looking for money. There's a survey we're currently running. We're currently doing an ecosystem map, and I think a lot of you should fill that form, or you should go and take that survey. Unlike the one that Father told you about, we're not paying money for this one. Okay? But it's important for you to take that survey eventually. I will send the link to Francisca so I can share with you. The survey will help you to understand, even as a professional, where are the companies you should go and you should be targeting as you try to build this business. Who are the people you should be hiring? Because that survey is the startup landscape and digital state of digital jobs reports for the South, South, and Southeast. So a lot of you here are digital talent, and you should take that survey so that you tell us what you're looking for or what are the challenges you're facing. So, but why I remember the survey is that so far, for all the people that have filled that form, one of the major things we see in that survey is that almost 70% of the startups that filled that survey say that their problem is funding. Somebody on my screen, I don't know if you can read my screen very well. That's a chart, and I'm deliberately spending time here so you can read that chart, because I'm not going to talk about it much. That's a chart I had with a founder who reached out to me because he wanted investment. I hope some of you are not like this founder at the end of the day. You can zoom in if you're using phone. You can zoom in and read the text, but I'm going to move out quickly. One of the things this founder did not do is that this founder did not do his research very well. So now he didn't understand what I was looking for as an investor. And so he was pitching amiss. You know how the Bible said that people do not receive because they ask amiss, right? So he was pitching amiss. Now, this is a continuation of that chart, and I don't want to bore you with that. If you're very fast, you can screenshot it and look at it later. But this is a continuation of that chart. Let me not bore you. Let me not take more time with that. But let me show you another thing. You see on this slide, the next slide, I don't know where you are, Francisca. I don't know what slide you're on, but you should be on the slide that says the third slide after the dilemma, the one that, yes, the big dilemma. But investors are looking for startups.
Yeah, that's the slide.
Great. So you see, while founders are looking for money and are complaining that there are no money, investors are looking for startups to put money into. So if that is not a dilemma, I don't know what is. I made this slide last year, but at the time I made this slide, in Q1, in quarter one of 2023, about 2.1 billion of capital had been invested in 258 companies. Okay? Investors have invested 2.1 billion, and that was in Africa. And this is in Africa. $2.1 billion have been invested in 258 companies in Africa. A particular venture firm called Patek, as of February 2026, they've closed their biggest estate now this year. As of that time, they did the first closing of this fund, $260 million fund. Let me give you a bit of context so you understand what's happening here. The same way startups are looking for money is the same way investors look for money. Investors go to people called limited partners and tell them that they want to invest in startups, that you should give them money to invest on their behalf. Then based on how they're able to convince those limited partners, the limited partners will give them money. And they will then go, they have a responsibility to invest all of that money that they've collected from their investors in startups within a given year. They must invest that money within a given year. So sometimes it's 3 years, they invest within 3 years. Most VCs do not keep fund more than 3 years. And they do so that they can then maximize returns on that investment. And they only make money when they get returns from the startup they invested in. That's when they make money. All right? The same after Patek, another Norscan 22 also closed $205 million. If you check to the right of this slide, this current slide, you will see a chart I had with an investor. And guess what the investor was doing? He says, Uche, I'm a venture partner at so and so company. We're a US-based VC investing in pre-seed series startup globally. I had investment in Africa, and would love to get in on your deal flow, or explore co-investing scheme. So here's what this person is telling me, just so that I don't spend time on this. What he's simply telling me is that, Uche, I know you're an investor, and I know you have access to startups that need investment. I would love, please mute yourself, please. Everybody mute yourself, please. Everybody mute yourself. Francisca, please help me mute the person.
Done.
Thank
Done. Yeah, go ahead.
Good. So this person is simply telling me, Uche, I know you're an investor. I know you have startups. You have access to startups that you want to invest, that you invest in. Please, anytime you have a startup you want to invest in, I'm also interested. I will also be interested in investing in them. I have money I want to invest. So basically, investors are looking for founders. Meanwhile, founders are saying there's no money. So there's obviously an understanding gap. If you go to the next slide, there's an understanding gap. And this is what this session will try to address. For those of you that have had the opportunity to have skill, to train. Francisca, I don't know what slide you're on, but you should be on the big dilemma. There's obviously an understanding gap. And then we'll move next to how VCs work. So I'll stop here and just say a few things before I talk about how VCs work and what investors want. The beginning part of building a business is actually to have a special skill. And that is what a lot of you have done by attending this Dsep program. You have acquired skills. All right? Of course, the other part of building a business is also to understand opportunities, to find opportunities. In other words, to find a problem that nobody is solving or nobody is solving adequately. Okay? That you have you're in a much better position to solve. That is the definition or the starting point of building a business. So let me come down to how VCs work and what investors are looking for. So there are different types of investors you will get. I've told you, you've heard from me in the space of how many minutes that I've spoken so far. You've heard from me, I've talked about VCs a lot, which is venture capitals. Maybe I also spoke about the fact that I started an angel network. So you heard angel from me. So there are angel investors and there are venture capital firms. All right? So there's also what is called private equities. Now, these people are people who would normally invest in startups. By the way, we'll get to the definition of what a startup is. But follow me as I do this, as I share these thoughts. Now, these people largely invest in startups. But how do they work? First thing is that the angel investors are professionals that have some disposable income and are able and have experience and want to leverage their experience to support founders, new founders. I'm careful not to say young founders because it's not just young founders, new founders that are looking to solve problems that have significant market opportunities. So they put their money, it is their own money. That's the major distinguishing factor between angels and VCs. The major distinguishing factor is that the angels will invest their money. They are not investing anybody's money. Then you come to, so what angels do, they have experience, they have network. When they put this money in, they will support the startup and help the startup to grow as quickly as possible. And then the startup gets to the point where they will take, the angels will support the startup and take them to VCs, their VC friends. And their VC friends will then invest in the startups at a higher valuation. And the value of the startup continues to grow. Now, so who is the VC? I already told you who they are. If you paid attention, I told you that the VCs look for money just like founders look for money. So VCs are people who invest other people's money. So they'll go to people who are called limited partners, and they collect money from those people and they invest that money. So VCs and angels understand that most of the money startups that they're going to invest in will fail. However, they are still looking for the startup that has the capacity to succeed. And even if it's only one that succeeds, it can return all of the monies they collected from investors plus profit. So you see, they are the ones that back startups. Banks largely do not back startups because startups are considered flight risk for banks. So the first source of funding a startup is supposed to have, the first source of funding is the founder's money, the customers through revenue, and then of course, family and friends. All right? Before you then start talking about investors, VCs, angels, and then banks come later. Please move to the next slide. So now that you've understood a bit about how VCs think, how angel investing works, how venture capital works, the sources of funds for startups. Now, we should now understand how you should build a startup. How do you then build a startup? You see, the first step of building a startup is idea generation. Let me go through the steps, then I'll come back and share. So you have idea, you generate an idea, you do idea validation, you build an MVP, you test it, you receive feedback, you test it again, you launch, then get feedback, release updates, repeat. That's like the way, if you ask me quickly, how can I build a startup? This is what you should be looking. This is how it is done. But how exactly does this work? To generate idea, requires you to it requires you to be observant. It requires you to question things. It requires you to ask questions. I see a lot of people who get up, wake up, and they just say, hey, you know what, I have an idea. If I do so and so. I remember somebody is sitting in front of me, and I want to use him to make an example. Some years back, he and a couple of friends came to meet me, and they said to me, we have this fantastic idea. All we're looking for is money. And I sat them down and I said, listen, tell me a bit more. And they told me. And I said, okay, I've heard you. But this thing that you're pitching to me is not, you have not validated it. You have not done any major work on it. And I could see that they were downcast. And they left me that day. Right? I remember this now because he's sitting in front of me. He's smiling. But the thing is, you don't have a business because you generate an idea. Because I see a lot of people that they come to you and they say, I have an idea. I have this idea. If I can just do this. That's not how it works. That doesn't mean you have a business. Then some people will even tell you, I will not talk to you about my idea because you can steal it. You have to sign an agreement. You have to sign an agreement before I can talk to you about my idea. No, that's not how it works. It's not the idea that matters. It is what you're doing with the idea. And what you're doing with the idea requires you to validate the idea. And so how do you validate an idea? You need to first find out how many people exist. How many people exist that have the problem you're trying to solve? You understand? How many people exist that have the problem you're trying to solve? And one of the ways to do that is to look at reports. Look for reports. Look for industry reports. Every idea you have can be situated within an industry. Don't tell me it's a new thing. Nobody has done it before. So it does not belong to any industry. No, it belongs to an industry. Look for somebody is unmuted. Please mute. So look for industry reports. Look for global organizations reports. So the idea is you want to find out who exactly needs this problem, who exactly has this problem that I am solving. Because it is those people that would pay you, to have the service that you're offering. All right? So to generate idea also means that exposure. A lot of successful businesses started from exposure. And what does it mean to have exposure? It either means that you are working somewhere and you're seeing how things are working and you feel that you can improve on what is working. Maybe you've actually sought opportunity with your current employer to try and make an input, and they are not accepting that input. But you believe strongly that that is the missing link. Sometimes you can start building that by the side and start taking it to customers. And by the time you validate it, you leave the company and run that as a business. So the first thing I'll tell you, and I want to say this again, people will say, if you don't have a job, create one. I will say, if you don't have job, offer yourself to a company, even if it means for free. Offer yourself to a company and work for that company so that you can get experience and exposure. You have trained in a skill today. Some of you go look for place. Don't wait for Dsep or CSA to tell you to get you an internship place. Go and look for companies that you can work for as interns in order to deepen your knowledge in this thing that you just learned. Do that as quickly. Act like you're in a hurry. Do that as quickly as possible because you need that exposure, you need that experience to be able to build a business later. So, in idea validation, the key steps is now that you've identified the problem, you know who has the problem, you know who is supposed to buy from you, you know how much you want to charge, give it to the people. A lot of people want to build a lot of features. They want to build a lot of features before they launch. Please, it is not about features. It is not about features. It's about solution and value. If you're providing value, if you have a solution and you're providing value, people will use your product, even in its crudest form. And that is what MVP is supposed to be anyway. The MVP. In the last hackathon that was done, I know that Father said you should write business plan and submit. I will charge you here today. Don't just write business plan. And hopefully, I'll be working with them for the next one, hopefully, right? I don't think you'll even be writing business plan. Do not write business plan. Simply put together what you have been able to do and share what you have done and share what you can do if you are supported. Don't send in application and say you're looking for money to start something. Start the thing first. Come and show what you have done. So that's another charge to you. That thing you're looking to do as a business. When you leave this program today, find the simplest way to start doing it. Some of you will say, I want to build. He already told you, go to the businesses, tell them I want to be your social media manager. Then migrate from being only you. Create a team of people that manage social media pages for several companies. Go and start doing it immediately. You don't need any money. You don't need any money to do that. All right? So the key success factors, like I've already mentioned, experience, assets, talent pool, investors, mentors, environment. Of all of this, there are few things you have control over. Your location, where you stay, and your experience. I will not dwell much on these assets because opportunities will come for me to talk about what assets mean. But just so you know, what I'm simply saying when I talk about assets is what I discussed before when I said, in the process of what you're doing, where you're currently working, how many relationships are you building? In your normal day-to-day life, how many relationships are you building? How many people today do you know that if you need 500,000 naira, you can walk up to them and say, please, I need 500,000 naira from you. I want to do so and so, please. How many of them will give you 500,000 naira without asking you questions? A lot of people think that building business is just about I have an idea, I'm looking for investment. Let me shock you. A lot of investors will not invest in you if the people around you, your family and friends, have not invested in you. A lot of investors will not invest in you. So why am I saying this to you? I'm saying this to you for you to understand that the relationship that you're trivializing today, if you've been trivializing your relationship, the people you come in contact with, you've been trivializing them, you should stop forthwith. Because some of those people you're trivializing are people that could help you succeed. Even if not in business, in any other stuff. They are your network. And your network is important. Your network is very important. It seems I skipped a slide, but I'm going to address the issue. In everything I've discussed, this thing will not make sense to you if we do not discuss what a startup is. What exactly is a startup? I'm sure that if I asked all of you on this call today what a startup is, I will get a lot of answers. But majority of the answers will be, it is a new business that is just starting. If that is what you plan to answer, can you raise your hand up with an emoji? I'm sure you know what an emoji is. Just react. Great. I hear you. That is what a lot of people feel that a startup is. And you're not entirely wrong, because some dictionaries will define it like that. But the truth is that the true definition of a startup is a business that is leveraging technology to provide a solution to a big market at scale. I'm only trying to paraphrase what the definition should be. A business, or in fact, we don't even call it a business. We say it's an entity. It's an entity because at the beginning, it's not yet a business. At the beginning, it's not yet a business. So some definitions will tell you that it's an entity operating in a highly unstable circumstances that is looking to provide a solution or provide a service, take a service or product to market in an environment of high uncertainty. All right? Leveraging technology. Why do they add the high uncertainty to that? They add high uncertainty because there's a lot of experimentation that goes on at the early stage of a startup. Because they're looking for what works. It's usually an innovation-driven business. They're looking for what will work, something that has not been done before. They're trying to solve a problem in a way that has not been done before. So they're looking for the right business model. So they have to test out a lot of things. So the problem they want to solve is clear, but how they're going to approach and solve that problem is what is not very clear. That's exactly what a startup is, leveraging technology. Some of the characteristics of a startup is that number one, because they focus on scale, and when we discuss scale, the definition of scale means the ability to serve millions of people with minimal infrastructure. To reach a bigger audience, to reach a bigger market with minimal infrastructure. Think about Facebook. Before Facebook, no other business had done 1 billion people. No other platform. No other platform had done 1 billion people before Facebook. There was MySpace. MySpace only had about 60 million people and they were mostly American. But Facebook broke the barrier and did global. Over 1 billion people. Now they're over 2 billion people. All right? No other platform was able to do that before Facebook. That is scale. That's the kind of thing startups are looking for. And that's exactly who investors are looking for. The alternative to a startup is an SME, a micro, small, and medium business. All right? Let me say this, not everybody can do an SME, not everybody can do a startup in the way that I'm describing it. And it is perfectly okay. If you look at yourself and you feel that you're not able to do a startup, you can as well do an SME. No problems. What's important is that you're building value. But for us, for me, and the people that I work with, we're looking for people who want to be able to build big things. So the characteristics of startups is that they are looking for scale. They are looking for, and then because they're looking for scale, they will need investment to be able to grow big. And typically, they are usually in a hurry. Speed is a big factor. Speed is a big factor. And then they usually have partners. The founders will always have what we call co-founders. I don't know if time will permit me today to talk about co-founding and how to get about co-founders, but I'll just talk briefly about it. Okay? So what are some of the opportunities that exist? Nigeria, Africa has massive opportunities for people to use technology, to leverage technology. Father told you about Paystack. In fact, the program we had today, that I was a judge at, somebody was pitching a fintech. And one of the feedback they've got is that, listen, OPay came into the market saying that they want to do financial inclusion. But it doesn't seem like most of the customers on OPay today are actually people who needed to be included. Because we don't think that people in the rural areas, those peasant farmers, currently use OPay. I don't think that they use OPay. So most people who are on OPay today are still largely people who already had bank accounts, one bank account or the other. And Nigeria today has only about 40 something million people that are banked, out of a population of over 210 million people. So If you can figure out a way to build a solution that can bring our mothers and our fathers and our brothers and sisters in the villages and give them a banking facility like all of us in the cities have, you probably will have a big opportunity in your hand. Today, payment is still a big problem. Trans-border payment is still a big problem in Africa. It is something that the likes of Flutterwave and so many other companies are trying to solve. There's still an opportunity there for more people to solve this problem. Imo State, I saw a data recently. That indicates that people pay more for health in Imo State than they do in, a lot of money is spent on health in Imo State than they spend in other places in Nigeria. But even at that, our health infrastructure in Nigeria is still very decrepit. There's a lot of opportunity. Today, there is no service that, if there is, I don't know yet. There's no service that allows me to migrate my medical record from one hospital to another hospital. So every time I visit, if I use a particular hospital, if I need to go to another hospital, I will go there and I will tell the doctor, I will try to start all over again to tell the doctor about my history, my medical history. Incidentally, healthcare depends on your history. That's the reason why a lot of people use only one clinic. And the problem with that is that if the doctor makes a mistake, no other person is able to correct the mistake. Before you know, they are treating you for sickness that you don't have. I hope I'm still connected. Jeez. Please, can you hear me?
Yes, we're connected.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah, sir.
So before you know, they are treating you for sicknesses that you don't have. And you don't even know that they've been killing you. But imagine that I can walk into a hospital today, and because I have my record, if I leave that hospital, I can walk into the next hospital and I can see another doctor, and I can get what is called a second opinion. If I have that type of service, I will pay for it. But hear me very well. The fact that I'm talking about this does not mean that you that have nothing to do with health, you should go and build it. You probably will not succeed because a lot of us will not invest. The only way you can build on it and succeed is if you go and look for somebody who has experience in health and make that person your co-founder. That is the way that some of us would pay attention and support you and invest. Okay? Is it in agri? There's a lot of opportunities for technology, to use technology to optimize our food supply chain, what you call farm to fork. There's a lot of gap. There are farmers in the rural areas that do not make enough money from their produce because there are middlemen who go to buy from them for peanuts and go to the city and clean out. You can replace those middlemen and half the commission that the middlemen take, you're giving the rural farmers more money, and you're saving money for the city dwellers, and then you're adding value. That's the whole essence of building a startup, finding ways to create value, removing inefficiencies, removing frictions, what we call frictions. And what do you call friction? People are trying to do what we call jobs. They want to be able to do something, and those things they want to do, we call it jobs, right? And in order to do those jobs, there's something that is stopping them from doing it. That thing that is stopping them from doing it, we call it friction. That thing is also another name for it is pain point. All right? So when you address the pain point or you remove the friction, you create value for these people. And in creating value, they reward you back by giving you value. And the value they give you is revenue. All right? So for me, the key takeaways from there are lots of other opportunities. I don't even want to talk about energy. You see our power sector. See inefficient electricity distribution companies. The one that communities will gather money together, repair their transformers, pay for meters. The disco is unable to supply the meters that have been paid for. I'm not telling you something that I was told. I'm telling you something that I am part of. And yet the federal government has made it possible that you don't even need a license to build up to 2 megawatts of generating power. If you can build generating power, and let me even bust your brain a bit. You don't have to own the generating set. There are lots of idle, there are lots of what's the word? There are a lot of generators around that the load they are carrying is like 10% of their capacity. But the owners still have to run those generators. Those generators can provide electricity for people around their vicinity if they had a way to charge those people and collect their money efficiently. Can you be the gap? Is it possible that you can build that model and replicate it across so many neighborhoods across the country? That with your app, people who have excess capacity generator can onboard people within their vicinity and get paid. And if the people don't want to pay, they are cut off automatically because you're able to provide the technology to do that. There are lots of opportunities, my brother. I don't even want to talk about logistics. Father was talking about people somebody selling something. The guy has a shop in Lagos. People are buying from him in Imo State. Between his shop and the people buying from him in Imo State is what is called logistics. The ability to move the product from where it was purchased to where it will be used. Logistics is a big sector, but there's also lots of friction in the space. I don't want to go into education. I don't even want to go into hospitality. Imo State, Father was saying that if you go to Owerri, on a Friday, you may not get room. That may be true, but a lot of those rooms are actually, some of the people who book those rooms may not have turned up. So there's inefficiency in the system. We hosted the CEO of Wakana in Port Harcourt like 2 days ago. He's my friend, the group CEO, Bayo. He's my friend. I invited him to come speak in my church. And then when he finished speaking, I took him out to a lunch and I invited some founders in our community to join me. And my wife was asking him, "Hey, what do you think about a venue booking platform?" Because several years ago, I built a venue booking platform. And my wife was asking, she said, if you build it, why don't you give us an API? Just focus on getting inventory. And he told me, he said, listen, if I can see somebody who is willing to focus on just getting inventory of hotels across Nigeria, all they need to do is give me API. They don't need to bother about distribution. Waka now is number one when it comes to travel in Nigeria. All right? What that means is that in terms of volume, they can tell you how many people come to Owerri. They can almost tell you how many people come to Owerri on a regular basis. Right? For every city in Nigeria, they can tell you how many people go there. And all of those people who go there, I can bet you that at least 60% of them need a place to stay when they visit there. So you see, you're dealing with a company that already knows the itinerary of these people. It will not cost anything for them to tell them, I can help you reserve a hotel. So I asked him, I said, why are you not building it yourself? He said, bro, we're a big company. You know how difficult it is for big companies, like a big ship. How difficult it is to turn a big ship around. It is how it is. That's like an opportunity for Owerri. Owerri is regarded as the hotel capital of Nigeria. You have more hotels per square kilometer compared to any other state or city in Nigeria. All right? So those are opportunities. These are massive opportunities that exist. My key takeaways: startups are high impact ventures. They are different from small businesses. It is okay to launch a small business, but if you must build a startup, make sure that you're thinking very high. You do not need anything. You do not need any money. You do not need anybody. What I mean, you don't need external money to start. What you already have is enough. Start from where you are. You say, I don't have anything. You have people. Start with the people you have. Ask people around you. Find people around you that can help you do certain things that you would have paid for. And they are willing to do it for you for free. Without you paying them. Those are part of what is called social capital. All right? If you don't have capital, so there are different types of capital. Financial capital, social capital, all right? And then there are the other human capital. If you don't have financial capital, you should have social capital. Social capital is a combination of all of your network and the value you can derive from the network. That's why I talked about network earlier. If you optimize your engagement for the right exposure and experience, wherever you're working in today, if you've not been paying attention, stop playing office politics and start building meaningful relationships within your organization. But also start paying attention to your processes in the company. Begin to understand why things are done in particular ways, so that you can begin to ask yourself, can we do this better? All right? When you find out that you can do it better, approach, and you test it out, approach your leaders and tell them that I think we can do this better. Please mute yourself. Now, if they don't listen to you, then you could consider building it. When should you build a startup or launch a startup fully? I recommend that you keep your normal job for now and be building the startup as a side hustle. If you have a co-founder, at some point, one of the co-founders should become full-time on the startup, while one continues to do it as a part-time, until such a time when the startup can be able to pay both of you your salary. You can move in fully and drive the stuff fully. All right? Build startups in the area of your strength. Grow meaningful connections. Fundraising is a contact game. I know we're not discussing fundraising today, but I'll mention to you that to raise money will require you to know people. So start building your network. I cannot say that enough. The last thing I'd like to say, don't build because you are hungry. If you are hungry, go and look for something that will give you food. If you build because you are hungry, you're likely going to fail. The chances of your failure is higher. Because somebody who is hungry, a lot of times will not make the right decision. So I implore you to go look for a job or something you can be doing that will give you some income, some level of income, so that you're able to feed. Some of you deploy the skills you have right now. And I will not fail to do this. Some of you, all you need to do right now, I wanted to close, but I can't close until I say this. Some of you, all you need to do right now is to productize your skill, your service right now. The skill you have acquired can become for you your meal ticket. And what do I mean? You can go ahead and start offering this service to people. And when you start offering it to people, what you should then do is to build plans, call it service plans around the thing. Oh, this is diamond, this is classic, this is platinum. For instance, you're a social media manager. You say, you know what? My basic plan is 30,000 naira a month or 60,000 naira a month. You see this basic plan? I can only manage two social media page for you. I will write one long form content for you. I will write one short form content. I will respond to messages. I'll respond to messages. And then I will provide you reports every week. I will provide you report once a month. Oh, you see this classic plan? I will write one long form and two short form content. I will manage 3 pages or 4 pages. I will provide you reports every 2 weeks. This one is platinum plan. I'll write 2 long form. I'll write two long form content, 4 short form content. I'll provide you report every week. I will do this and I'll do that and I'll do that. Now that is called productizing. You're productizing your service and your offering, right? With that, you can quickly build a website. What that means is that, please, can you mute yourself? Please. Thank you. So what that means is that you can quickly build a website today, and you don't even need to code to build a website. And I'll give you this for free. Every one of you on this call, there's a tool called Zoho. You can quickly register a domain name now. .com.ng is about 2,000 naira. You can register .com.ng domain now. Go to Zoho. And set up. Go to Zoho and set up your account. Set up the free plan. Integrate your email. To set up your custom email on Zoho so that you have professional email, your name at your domain .com.ng or .com or .whatever. You can do that right away. You can start sending messages to people. Then for landing page, Zoho has a tool that you can quickly use to create a landing page. It will look like a website and it will be on your domain. So you don't even need to go and start coding. So which means that between now and Wednesday, you can set up a website in your domain name and put these plans that I just told you about. And you can integrate it with Paystack and start selling and start asking people to go and buy your product. So that by the time you are applying for the hackathon, you're not just coming to write a business plan for us. You're coming to tell us how much money you've made and how you validated that the idea is working. And I can bet you that if you do that, I will come with investors that during the hackathon, we're not just discussing to come and put you in a training program. Yes, we will put you in training program, but regardless of the money that Father will give you, me and other investors will give you money. So I'm challenging you if you can do that. I know that there are a lot of other things you need to learn. There are a lot of things I can't say in 1 hour, but you need to learn. So if you want, and I'll share the link with Francisca. If you want, you can join the community because we share information in the community along these lines. For those of you that maybe will not get to qualify to be able to get sponsored to go and take the training that you require after this time, you can already begin to do something. But I don't think that any of you that begin to do something today and then send an application to join the hackathon that shows proof and result of what you've achieved based on this thing I'm telling you today, that will be rejected. No. I'll send this link, those links. There's a link I'll send to you. Use that link, that's the whole link, and you will get almost 500,000 naira to use Zoho credit. Apply with it, use Zoho credit. You will get the paid version of those applications and start using it. Start using it immediately. I'll send that link to you, but you have to join the community first because they're going to send us messages and say, hey, is this person in your community? All right? So please, I don't know if anybody has questions, but I think I can stop here. My handle is @Habila2. I tweet @Habila2. You can also find me on Facebook. Habila2 as well, facebook.com/Habila2. I have 2 accounts on Facebook. The first one is new Habila2. The second one is Habila2. So either of them, one is a page, one is my personal handle. Of course, my friendship on Facebook is maxed out, so except you want to just follow me, right? Otherwise, join the page. I'll try and post there. But if you send me a personal message, my phone number is public. My phone number is public. It's a glow line. It's 08051610019. If you search it online, you will even find my phone number. You can send me WhatsApp messages, no calls. Don't call me. Just send me WhatsApp messages. If you have questions or you want any of these things I've said, you want further clarification, I'm happy to provide those clarifications for you. All right? So I hope that
Please, sir, the phone number again.
0805 161 0019. Did you get that? Do you want me to repeat it again?
Repeat it, please. The network is bad.
0805
Okay.
161 161 161
Okay.
0019.
0019.
Yes, 0019. 161
Okay, sir.
0019. That's it.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
So,
I
yeah,
got it.
you can send WhatsApp messages, no calls, please. And I take my time to respond to those messages as much as possible. The only thing I ask of you is do not ask me questions you can Google. All right? That's my mantra. That's what I tell people. Don't ask questions you can Google. Okay? So that's it. If you need any support, I'm happy to support. Thank you very much. I hope that this has been very valuable to you. Please, the last slide, Francisca, is a feedback form, right? Please, as many of you that took this session, I'd like to hear your thoughts on what you thought about this session or my presentation, because it helps us to improve these deliveries. All right. So follow the link that Francisca is sharing. Follow the link that Francisca is sharing and help us. Follow the link and help me provide feedback. All right. All right. Follow the link and help me provide feedback. Thank you very much, everyone.
Good evening, sir. Please, we need your social media handle. We didn't get it well.
At Havila2 on Twitter. Then on that, Havila is spelled Havilah. Then figure 2. All right. That's my handle on Twitter and on Facebook as well. But I also have another account on Facebook. So instead of just Havila2, put NU, Nigeria University, NU, in front of Havila2. Then that will be my handle on Facebook, additional handle on Facebook and Instagram. Okay? So those are my handles. I hope you got it. I don't know if there's an opportunity for questions, maybe 1 or 2 questions. Francisca.
Okay, sure. I think that those who have questions can raise their hands and we can maybe take the first 2.
At least 2, the first 2.
Yeah. So if you have a question, please put your hand up.
I have a question, sir.
Please put your hand up. You'll be called. You need to raise your hand, please.
Video of this lecture.
If you have a question to ask, please, you need to raise your hand up so that you can be given the microphone to speak.
How do we raise our hands up?
You will see the icon that says reactions. If you click on it, it will allow you to raise your hand. Okay, Nwachukwu Franklin, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, we really appreciate your lecture this evening. I'm so happy. Please, my question is that you were saying about a form we will fill. and how to buy what is called, how to buy a domain name. Please, I don't really know how to buy the domain name. Please, can you put more light on that aspect, sir?
Okay, what I will do, I will send you a code that will help you get. So if you send me a message on WhatsApp, right? I'll send you a code. But to buy domain name is easy. It's simply to go to any of the platforms that sells domain name and choose the domain name you want. There are quite a number of them. Google Host, Namecheap. There are plenty of them. But if you send me a message on WhatsApp, or I can share with Francisca to share in your group, then I can provide you a link, and you can go and buy. You can go there and you'll get your domain name. I hope that helps.
Yes, I'm clear now. Thank you.
Great. Francisca, do we have another one?
Yes, Chima Alozie, please go ahead. Chima Alozie, unmute your microphone and go ahead, please.
My question is, can we get a video of this lecture? Because due to the network, I didn't get what was going on ever since the meeting started. The network has been jamming. So can we get a video or replay of this, the whole lecture?
I believe, yeah, Francisca, that should be for you. I believe it's being recorded, right? So you
Great.
decide.
So this webinar is currently being live streamed on CSAE Facebook, and the video will still remain on CSAE Facebook. So I've dropped the link to CSAE Facebook and other social media handles. Please do well to follow CSAE on all the social media handles, especially on Facebook, so that you can access the video, and then every other content that we put out, you also have like access to it, first-hand access to it. So it's currently live streaming on Facebook, and you have access to the video on Facebook. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much.
Please also share the link with me so I can share with other people.
All right.
Sure.
Okay, great.
Please,
Any other question?
your phone number again, sir. Your phone number.
Please check the group chat. Check the chat session. Check this chat session. The phone number is on the chat session. If we don't have any more questions, Mr. Uche, I think over to you to wrap up so we can revert back to Father.
Yeah, I'm done from here. It's been an honor speaking with all of you. Thank you. I look forward to meeting some of you very soon. So thank you for having me, Father. I appreciate the opportunity to speak. And Francisca, thank you for putting this together. You and the team.
Okay, so, who is sharing the thing? Can you stop sharing? Who is sharing the slides? Okay, okay, thank you, Mr. Uche, for a work well done. I have learned a lot myself too in the course of your presentation. Thank you so much for always being there whenever we call upon you to help the young people in Imo State and across Nigeria. Is something that is very inspiring to find young people like you who are also very interested in helping young people. So we cannot thank you enough. We want to thank our participants, quite a number of people logged in here today. And I know that many others will also like to follow up on our social media handles to enjoy, to look at, to listen to the presentations. We shall be having another session on Tuesday, and to be taken up by another person that is not Mr. Uche, but we will also be having Uche back again and again. He has some good ideas on how we can continue to support you people, provide the necessary information, because knowledge is power, to enable you launch out, no matter what it is, whether it is startup or whether it is SME, whatever it is. All of them are aimed towards giving you financial independence, and is very important. Start doing something. Don't wait until you get all the money in the world. That's what he said. start doing something, no matter how little it is, start doing it and start gaining experience. He says that startup is not something that you just do with business plan. It's something that you have been doing and having experience and you want to scale up or something. So, start trying your hands on something. I love the part where he said, if you're working for a company, find solution to that, to a problem you're facing. Don't just, and that solution, you can find it and your company can even buy that solution from you. Yes, you can find it. You can walk up to the MD or the executive director and say, we keep having this problem. We keep having this. I have a solution to the problem. And even if you don't buy it, but for the fact that you came up with that solution, I'm sure you'll be treated with more respect in the organization. So I love that part when he said it, because some of you think that you can still, once you think you're doing something small, then you quit your job. No, you can still work and do something on the side after work. And gradually, by the time you have gotten enough resources to be on your own, then you can then exit. So thank you so much, Mr. Oche. Thank you, Francisca, our Chief Operating Officer, for helping to anchor this. Thank you, our Chief Communication Officer, Esther Majo, and all our communication team members, Michael and Ugochukwu, all of you that have been up since today. This is a Saturday. We don't work on a Saturday, but because of this program, you have given in your time to be here and to support this program. We can't thank you enough. And we hope that, those who attended learned a lot. Please share your knowledge with other people. Share your knowledge with other people. And I hope we'll see you back here on Tuesday. Like I said, we're going to have a hackathon, and only those that attend these programs would participate in the hackathon. The reason is because we want to have good quality, high quality submissions when we do the hackathon. The last time we did not have as much high quality submissions. And so we did, because we felt that maybe there was no room to do ideation or to discuss some of these issues with you ahead of time. But now we have put in that opportunity. We are hoping that those, when we now call for applications in the future, and not quite long from now, you will be able to get high quality, submissions, and then we can be able to select those that we can work with. Most of these things Uche is saying, I think these are some of the things that train people in the incubator program or something like that, or a business development program. So once we select people, we'll still have them to go through some more formal training before they can begin to launch out. So please make sure that you have put your name in the attendance register. And this is only for Dsep graduates. So if somebody did not attend Dsep, the person will not be able to qualify, will not be eligible for the hackathon and for the trainings that go after that. Mr. Uche is here. He's also going to work with us in putting the hackathon together and making sure that we have the best of it. We are very committed to supporting Nigerian youths as much as we can, with knowledge, with our resources, and whatever we can to help you stand on your feet, because we feel like if you succeed, you will help others to succeed. You have a company that is hiring 5 people, is something. Even if it's only 5 people you're paying, that are on your payroll, is something. CSA has been doing this forever. We have companies out there like Pefa Foods and all of them. These were companies supported and inspired and supported by CSA, and they have a number of employees that they are supporting, and we are very happy about that. Thank you so much, everybody. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening, and see you again on Tuesday, when we shall have Hector to also speak to us about business development and ideation and a few other more things quite different from what Uche has said. We hope to meet with Uche soon again to continue his wonderful conversation. Thank you so much, and God bless all of you. Goodbye.
Thank you very much, Father Batu. Please, if you're yet to fill the attendance sheet, please do well to fill it. Follow CSAE on the various social media platforms. All the links have been attached in the chat box. So please do well to follow. Thank you very much. Felix, I see your hands up.
Yeah, I just want to ask Mr. Godswill a question before he leaves. I don't know if I'm privileged to.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm here.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for this opportunity to, to learn and glean a lot from your experience and all you have been doing. I personally really appreciate. Just a quick one, sir. Because I know the whole thing is highlighting on how to empower Nigerian youth, and making many of us to be gainfully employed and to be useful for ourselves. I just want to know how those who are in diaspora can also benefit from this, because we have many of us who are privileged to be maybe outside at the moment, but looking out to set up something back home with the knowledge we have gained. For example, I also personally have been through the Dsep tech skills training, and it's really beneficial. So for those of us who are not there, maybe we cannot be present in the country at the moment for the hackathon. How do we benefit? How can we use our skills also, or upscale our skill, to also benefit ourselves and the people around us?
Okay, yeah, Felix. Yes, our program is for Nigerian youths, whether they are home or they are abroad. And we always are willing to work with Nigerian youths that come to us with their challenges or with their ideas or with whatever potential opportunities they can work with. Depending on the country where the person is, we are able to figure out things that we can do with the person if there is an opportunity. But back home, if the person is interested in doing something back home, because we are far away from the country, I usually ask people to see how they can partner with those that are back home. Because if you're in another country and you can't come home in 1 year or something, you probably need a very good hand back home to work with on your ideas. And still, it doesn't matter, in our organization too. So long as you're a Nigerian youth, and for example, as the hackathon there is going on. So if you have a great idea and you are going to be able to partner with somebody that is back home, that would be fantastic. We will still consider that. But if you also want to, have a meeting with me directly and share what you can work on, even if it is not in Nigeria, because there are also things that we're working on here in diaspora to be able to help support those in Nigeria. There are going to be businesses, but those businesses will be targeting people back home in Nigeria. But the people who own the businesses in diaspora would also make a lot of money out of those things. So either way, we are very open to conversations as to what anybody can do. Sometimes it's when we hear the person directly that we can then say, okay, if you're in Italy or if you're in this place, you want to do something in those places, see how I can work with you. But if you want to do something in Nigeria, we have a whole lot of well-trained young people in Dsep, and in our other programs in agriculture, whatever. We can always identify somebody that you can work with. And in any of our programs that you put your hands in, it doesn't really matter where you are, we'll still have to work with you. Okay?
Thank you so much, sir. Should be glad to reach out to you. So thank you so much.
I don't know whether you have my contact, and then we can take it from there. I don't know whether you have my contact.
Not yet, sir. I would be glad to have it.
Okay, let me
promote it.
Yeah, Francisca, can you give Felix my contact and get his own for me? Francisca, are you there?
Sure. Yes, I'm here.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Okay. Goodbye,
everybody.
Everyone,
at least I need your number too, sir.
Okay, no problem. Francisca will reach out to Francisca. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Thank you so much, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you, sir. We are so grateful.
Thank you.
All right, then. Thank you, everyone. Make sure to fill the attendance. And see you on Tuesday by 4 p.m.
Please, I'm unable to fill the attendance.
Thank you, sir. Please, the Reverend Father's number, please. Francisca, please.
Can I go ahead? My hand is raised. Good evening, all. Please
Please go
confirm.
ahead.
Okay, I personally want to thank the Reverend Father and the team for the wonderful job and for the initiative. So mine, I'm an undergrad. I just started last week, and I'm finding it difficult to submit my attendance. So I think personally it's for those who have graduated, because each time I click on that undergraduate, it shows
So
that I
we've
need to.
edited it. We've edited the form to
Yeah,
include undergraduates. Please, can you refresh the form
I've
and
done
submit
that
it
several
again?
times. It's still not submitting.
Okay, just send me a DM on WhatsApp. I should be one of the admins on any of the group that you belong to. So send me a DM with your name and your details. I see your name here is BC Odebeye. Yeah.
Yeah.
So BC, send me a DMs on WhatsApp. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Bye. We're going to end the meeting now, so you could just log off. Thank you.
Hello?
I'm not reading my attendance, so
No, I'm having same problem as well.
how do we do this now?
Big problem. I
What's
dropped a
the
lot.
challenge you're having? What's the challenge? What's the challenge?
Attendance.
Is there a way you can take the names of those that attended, then fill the form yourself, because we are having issues filling the form?
I'm reposting the attendance link again for you to fill.
Is that last line, that last one, it's not coming up. I feel every other one, but when you want to submit, it will now take you back and it's not submitting.
Or it may be a network issue. So let me just see which persons are having this challenge. Just drop your names on the chat box.
Okay, let me do
okay.
Drop your name on the chat box. Drop your name on the chat box.
Okay.
Okay, so I see Jennifer or Google. Jennifer, what course?
Hello?
Oh, why do we have a lot of people not filling the form, but we've received from a lot of other people also? So I'm thinking it will be a network challenge for
Let them copy the link and paste it in the Google Chrome. They should change the browser they are using.
Thank you very much for that suggestion. Please make sure that in the name you're dropping whether you're graduate, undergraduate, and the course.